As I sat in my room flipping through Mia's Tinder profile, I couldn't contain my excitement. "Have you seen this girl?" I asked my roommate Alan eagerly. He glanced at her picture on my phone and raised an eyebrow. "Yeah, but are you crazy?" he replied skeptically. "Going on a date on Valentine's Day? Might as well be saying you want kids, family, and white picket fence." I brushed off his concerns, dismissing them as unwarranted. We exchanged a few more words, but I decided it was best to leave before our discussion escalated. After all, I had a date to prepare for. "You're just jealous about the fact you could never land a girl like her." I rummaged through my closet, searching for the perfect outfit. Eventually, I settled on my new Dolce suit, a recent splurge made possible by a decent month in the tumultuous finance market. As I admired my reflection in the mirror, I couldn't help but feel a surge of confidence. "Dang, I look great," I exclaimed to myself, trying to boost my morale even further. With a final glance at my appearance, I grabbed my keys and headed out the door, Alan's reminder about condoms lingering in my mind. Arriving at the restaurant a bit earlier than planned, I took a seat at our reserved table. As I watched Mia enter the restaurant, a wave of relief washed over me when she caught sight of me and offered a smile in return. Yes, she smiled at me, I thought to myself, feeling a sense of validation. As Mia approached the table and greeted me shyly, I couldn't help but feel a flush of excitement. "Hi," she said softly, her cheeks tinged with a hint of pink. "Hi," I replied, feeling a similar flush creeping up my own cheeks. Our dinner conversation flowed effortlessly, and I found myself captivated by Mia's charm and wit. However, as she excused herself to the restroom, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Glancing out the window, I spotted a person lurking in the windows, dressed in a dark hoodie. I found it a bit strange, and it gave me a weird feeling. But before I could dwell on it further, I heard the sound of the cutlery clinging together. As Mia placed her purse on the table as she returned, she leaned in close to me, whispering seductively in my ear and giving me a hypnotizing glimpse of her cleavage. I felt a surge of desire. "How about we get out of here?" she suggested, her breath hot against my skin. "Check, please," I blurted out, eager to escape the unsettling atmosphere of the restaurant. After paying for our meal, I noticed Mia's financial strain, but I didn't mind footing the bill. I usually cover expenses on first dates anyway. As we left the restaurant, Mia clung to my arm, her touch lingering longer than expected. Her hand began to roam, making its way to my backside. Not exactly subtle, I chuckled inwardly as her hand moved down to my ass. I also noticed her furtive glances behind us. I glanced over my shoulder, seeing nothing but the glow of streetlights illuminating the deserted sidewalks. Walking towards Mia's place, nestled in a less affluent neighborhood, I couldn't help but be impressed by the stylish decor of her apartment. Once inside, Mia wasted no time in pushing me against the door, her lips eagerly seeking mine as she began to undress me. Her passion was palpable, igniting a fire within me. Returning her fervor, I swept her up in my arms. I couldn't help but notice how tight and firm her ass felt as I grabbed it. Wow, I thought to myself. Her ass is perfect, and I carried her to the couch, where we continued to shed our inhibitions. I undress her. I usually like to take it slow, but the heat between us, the passion in Mia's eyes, I couldn't move slow. She feels me. As my underwear starts to shrink, she looks me dead in the eyes and grabs my private part, giving me a tingling feeling. She moves her hand to my stomach and, sliding it down my pants with a tight grip around me, she unzips my pants and pulls them down. She moves down, taking me all in. Suddenly, Mia toppled me onto the floor, straddling me as she trailed kisses down my chest. In the heat of the moment, words were unnecessary. Our actions spoke volumes, and I reveled in the exhilarating spontaneity of it all. It felt too good to be true, but I allowed myself to get lost in the moment, to get lost in Mia. As our intimacy intensified, we migrated to the bedroom, where passion reached its peak. Drained of energy after our bedroom playtime, I drifted into a contented slumber with Mia in my arms. The tranquility of sleep was shattered by the abrupt sound of banging on the bedroom door. Startled awake, I searched the room frantically for Mia, but she was nowhere to be found. "Mia," I called out, met with only silence as the ominous voice of a man echoed through the room. "You've had your fun," the voice taunted, dripping with malice, but now, you're trapped." Panic surged through me as I realized my predicament. "Leave me alone," I shouted. But my words fell on deaf ears. Desperation gnawed at my insides as the banging continued, leaving me feeling vulnerable and exposed. "I'll call the cops," I yelled out. "But I can't find my phone. I can't find my clothes. Did Mia take it all? I wonder?" Right before I am shocked by another banging on the door. As I scramble to find refuge in the middle of this chaos, I spot a pair of Mia's lounge shorts nearby. They're ridiculously small, but I manage to slip them on in the midst of the horrifying events. The relentless banging on the door continues, echoing through the room. Amidst the noise, I hear Mia's voice calling out my name from the other side of the door, a twisted melody that sends shivers down my spine. "Lucas," she sings, her tone dripping with malice. "A real man would come out and face us." Fear grips me, rendering me speechless as I huddle in a corner, searching desperately for an escape route. But the windows are sealed shut, offering no escape. "There's nowhere to run, little Lucas," the male voice taunts from beyond the door. "Who are you?" I shouted. "My name is Benjamin, Mia's fiancé," comes the chilling reply. I'm stunned. Mia never mentioned a fiancé. "What? I didn't know, believe me," I plead. But my words fall on deaf ears as the banging ceases momentarily, leaving me with a glimmer of hope. Suddenly, Mia's television springs to life. I watch in horror as the screen displays a scene from this very room. Myself and Mia engaged in the intimacy of the night. The angles shift, capturing every moment in vivid detail. But then, the scene changes, and I see another man, engaged in the same act with Mia. As the footage speeds up to show them falling asleep, a new horror unfolds before my eyes. Mia stands before a man sleeping in her bed, wielding a menacing knife, while Benjamin wields a heavy hammer. Together, they unleash a brutal assault on an unsuspecting victim lying in bed, their blows raining down with merciless force until the room is stained with blood. As the violent spectacle unfolds for several minutes, but it feels like an eternity on the television screen, Mia's voice reaches me through the door. "We always let everyone have their fun before we take their lives," she taunts, her words sending a chill down my spine. Panic surges through me as I desperately search for anything to defend myself with. My hands close around a lamp, the only weapon within reach. "Please let me go," I plead, my voice trembling with terror. "I have money, I can pay you." But my desperate cries fall on deaf ears as Benjamin's sinister laughter echoes through the room. "Hope your last Valentine's Day was a good one," he sneers. I brace myself for the inevitable, knowing there's no escape from the horrors that await me. The door bursts open and they descend upon me with savage glee, their laughter mingling with my screams as they unleash their wrath upon me. "Please," I whimper. But my words are drowned out by the sound of the knife slicing through the air, the sensation of its blade piercing through my skin, and the agonizing pain that follows. In the darkness that envelops me, I hear nothing but their cruel laughter and the grinding of bone against steel before darkness claims me.